Business trip? It's finally my turn to go to Meroria? Ah, the popular magic-themed masterpieces and the hyper-realistic merchandise from that city I've been thinking about for so long.
You'll need to touch bases with Miss Lyra in Meroria, then make your way to Domain 9 through the Celestial Gate.
Oh, I suppose that could work. Even if I can only stay for a little bit, I'm sure I'll get a chance to snag some goods.
Executor Miss Shirley, allow me to introduce you. This is Brevi, a Tower of Fantasy engineer.
Hello there. I'm usually cooped up at home, but even I have heard about you two. At least, I think I have.
We have already reached an agreement with Domain 9. Once we confirm that Domain 9 can harness omnium radiation from Mara, we'll commence the construction of a Tower of Fantasy. Brevi is set to accompany you to Domain 9 for the initial inspection. If the optimal solution for Domain 9 to obtain omnium is indeed the construction of a Tower of Fantasy, Hykros will spare no effort in providing assistance and support. Even though the construction of the Tower of Fantasy has been essentially stalled since the Cataclysm, our research on omnium has never ceased.
But at this point, we've run into a roadblock that we can't seem to overcome. It is what it is.
Hopefully, our understanding of omnium can assist Domain 9 and the entire human civilization to safely navigate through the gray space entity crisis. Venturing to Domain 9 to investigate the possibility of constructing the Tower of Fantasy is our first step.
Bleep bleep. Hykros' current technology is more than capable of conducting the investigation, but understanding the local conditions, well, that's another story.
Bleep bleep? Is that the name of some new technology?
She says it's her special notification sound.
Huh?
Don't worry, Teach. I'll be careful with these, uncommon phrases to avoid any possible misunderstandings. Rest assured, I'll uphold the image of a serious and reliable Hykros researcher.
I'm sure you'll handle it appropriately. Don't worry about your projects here. I'll have someone take over. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. In addition, an executor will be appointed to go with you for your safety.
Anything? Well, I would like a large amount of extra funding. Also, can I choose my own bodyguard? I want Yanunu to come too.
Considering she might still be on a mission, it might be best to choose from the others first. I'll check on Yanuo's schedule later.
Then no matter who I pick, they'll be a stranger. Never mind. I believe I can get along well with the Executor and Miss Shirley. I'll be fine without a bodyguard.
Wouldn't that just burden them with additional work?
What do you guys think? This is actually my first time leaving Hykros. I'm not really sure what kind of problems I might encounter.
Don't worry about it. Just leave it to us.
Keeping the team lean. That's not a bad idea. While you're on your mission, could you also keep an eye out for this inexperienced student of mine? I'd really appreciate it.
I can take care of myself even if Yanunu is not around. Yes, this is also a necessary challenge on the path to making miracles.
Oh, well then. I'm looking forward to working with you, Miss Brevi.
Oh. Is it just me? Or does the air even smell different here?
How do you feel? Are you uncomfortable at all?
Um... Uh... Perhaps traversing through space-time barriers all in one go is a bit too much for a first-timer like me. My sight is growing ever dimmer in the encroaching darkness. If I were to fall here...
We'll get you to a place to rest. Come on.
That's the scene I had imagined, but it turned out to be easier than I thought. Bleep bleep! Thank you all for your concern. I've done some last-minute cramming. I think I'm as ready as I can possibly be. This trip has been surprisingly uneventful. There's no opportunity to put those survival skills Yanunu mentioned to use, it seems. Like, how to survive in the wilderness with no signs of civilization, and how to survive by foraging for edible plants. I thought there might be a chance to put all this knowledge to use.
It's not that extreme.
I seem to be doing fine adapting to the new environment, but the accommodations have me a bit worried. Making the bed and doing laundry isn't my strong suit. I predict that within a day, I'll have the guest room in a total mess. I wonder if there'll be any staff to help.
I think that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now that we're here, let's get straight to work. This is a rare hands-on exam. If my teacher thinks that I'm the type to drop the ball at crucial moments, it'll make future funding applications even harder.
Welcome back, Executor, Miss Shirley, and Miss Brevy from Hycros. We've made ample preparations for our in-depth partnership. Please follow me to the Infinite Sundial first.
The Infinite Sundial? That's the most important facility in Domain 9 for energy reaction and conversion, right? I remember reading about it in the prep materials.
That's right. The Infinite Sundial transfers the field energy originating from Lifeblood to various timestamp facilities. It's the most critical hub in the entire timestamp system.
Very fascinating. I'd love to see it. Could you walk me through how it works and the logic behind it? Is it just the novelty, or does this place not seem as dull as Asperia?
Of course. I'll get the tour set up immediately.
Welcome, Miss Brevy. Let me introduce Miss Brevy, the architect of the Tower of Fantasy from Hycros. She'll be conducting an inspection regarding the construction of a Tower of Fantasy in Domain 9.
First things first. We have to ensure that Domain 9 is within Mara's energy radiation range before we can move forward with the next steps. If we can confirm this, maybe we could prove that Domain 9 is a part of Ida. Just maybe. For some reason, Domain 9 and the other regions have become isolated from each other. What's the principle behind the deployment of this barrier? In any case, if this is true, it falls in line with Hycros' prior hypothesis. Domain 9, just like Vera and Asperia, is another missing part of Ida.
Miss Brevy's ideas are quite promising for further study. It seems that this verification process might unearth key information we have not yet realized. I'll leave it up to Miss Brevy to take the lead and decide how to proceed.
Before we move forward, I have a question. How exactly did Domain 9 pinpoint Vera's coordinates and open the Celestial Gate?
Domain 9 experienced a very unusual space-time fluctuation some time ago. Due to the impact of the fluctuation, we managed to track down more parameters of the outside world. The data was harvested and processed by 3 space-time anchor stations in Joltville. It was then sent to the Infinite Sundial and calculated by our supercomputer, Tempos. Therefore, we precisely identified the location of the outside world Celestial Gate in Ignisville, making our trip to Vera possible.
I see. Just as I had imagined. Then, we can replicate the same procedure this time. Surveying the space-time anchor points of Mara through these 3 facilities. But given that Mara exists in higher dimensional space-time, we need to adjust the survey parameters to sense its presence. It might even require modifications to the anchoring device.
Of course, that's not a problem. Neo, I'd like you and Yoon to assist Miss Brevy with the modifications.
Understood.
Moreover, taking into account the time required for the project and the budget for the equipment, I don't see the need for a new Tower of Fantasy in Domain 9. We can accomplish the same goal by modifying the Infinite Sundial, the hub of the timestamp system. Modifying the Infinite Sundial? Wouldn't that interfere with the functioning of the whole timestamp system? We'll have to determine that based on the actual circumstances when the time comes. However, if the 2 facilities operate independently, it could potentially lead to a large-scale energy loss during transmission. In that situation, Tower of Fantasy's energy efficiency would significantly decrease, possibly not meeting the Infinite Sundial's needs. All things considered, remodeling the Infinite Sundial is the best solution.
Tianzhong Pavilion will carefully evaluate the proposal. It's absolutely critical that we ensure the Infinite Sundial continues to function perfectly. There's no room for error.
I'll leave the proposal evaluation to Mimi. In the meantime, our priority is to survey the existence of Mara.
Please follow me to Tianzhong Pavilion, and we can discuss the plans for the anchoring device modification.
My name is Yoon, and I oversee the Infinite Sundial. I'd be delighted to assist in any way I can.
A new member just joined our party? Our group's friendship EXP just got a major boost!
I just did a quick calculation of the transmission power needed for the survey, and the space-time anchor stations can meet this requirement. As for how to equip the space-time anchor stations with the ability to survey Mara, that's down to Miss Brevi's plan.
Right. For that, we just need to request Hycros to transport the space-time monitoring modules to Domain 9.
I see. Miss Brevi must be planning to replace the existing modules of the space-time anchor stations with the ones from Hycros, right?
That's right! Our collective brain power is leveling up!
But it seems like it won't be as simple as that. The device doesn't fit the space-time anchor stations, so we'll have to build corresponding connectors.
This could be troublesome. The space-time anchor stations are rarely used, and we don't have spare parts in Tianzhang Pavilion's inventory.
We'll help too. What resources do you need?
Thank you, Executor. Allow me a moment to prepare a list. Rough stone and jade stone should be relatively easy to collect. The dark gold fixator can be purchased directly from Sky Workshop at Tianhua Bazaar.
Sounds straightforward enough. I'll head out now.